JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Clarendon man killed, brother injured in gun attack. A man was shot dead, while his brother was injured in a gun attack at Belmont District in Mucko, Clarendon on Saturday night. According to the police, the deceased has been identified as David Dyer, a 29-year-old welder of the community. Reports are that the victims were at a drink-out event hosted by Dyer when they were pounced upon by two men armed with handguns. The men opened fire, hitting Dyer to the head and upper body, while his brother received gunshot wounds to both legs and right hand. They were both taken to hospital, where Dyer was pronounced dead and his brother admitted in stable condition. It has been theorized that the deceased may have been the intended target, as he is an accused violence producer within and outside the parish of Clarendon. At the time of his death, he was before the Maypen court for 3 counts of shooting with intent, for which he was out on bail. He was also facing charges in the Manchester Police Division for illegal possession of a firearm and was a known player in motor vehicle stealing rings across the island. Investigations are ongoing as the police remain on high alert for possible reprisals. 25-year-old Westmoreland man found riddled with bullet wounds. The body of a man was found riddled with bullet wounds mere hours after he left a bar on Saturday at Carwinner District in Petersfield, Westmoreland. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old Shawdane Muir, otherwise called Bro, a laborer in the community. The police are theorizing that the man was killed between 1 a.m. and 5:55 p.m. on Saturday. Reports from the police are that on Friday, October 7 at 7 p.m., Muir was seen at Paris Lounge along Petersfield Road, drinking and spending from a large sum of cash. The man then left about 12 midnight. Following his departure, residents then heard explosions at 1 a.m. on Saturday coming from the vicinity of Muir's house. However, the police were not alerted. Citizens then reportedly stumbled upon Muir's body at 5:55 the same day in his yard in a pool of blood. They then contacted the police. On arrival of the police, Muir was seen on his back at the side of his house with what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. Upon further checks by the police, it was revealed that the back door to Muir's house was pried open and the house ransacked. The DVR for his camera system was also missing. Muir was taken to the Savermore Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Lone gunman robs bar in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. Thieves continue to plague bar and shop operators in St. Elizabeth. The latest incident occurred last evening at a bar on Longwood Main Road in Santa Cruz. Preliminary reports indicate that a female bartender and a patron were surprised by a man armed with a gun. He was clad in a black long-sleeve shirt, grey shorts, and brown Timberland shoes, and sporting a black and white balaclava on his face. Investigators say the gunman demanded the patron and the bartender to lie on the floor. He then searched the bar and made off with about $40,000 in cash on the bar, as well as a phone from the patron. The gunman later fled on foot. Almost $10 million in fake cash seized in St. Andrew. Investigators in the St. Andrew South Police Division are probing the seizure of millions of dollars in counterfeit money on Saturday night. A male government employee has been taken into custody in relation to the discovery. A motor vehicle in which the fake cash was discovered has also been seized by the police. It is understood that the seizure was made in the Duane Park area of St. Andrew. Sources close to the investigation say that the fake cash, consisting of U.S. and local currencies, is close to $10 million at a preliminary estimate. A senior officer within the division confirmed reports of the seizure and said more information will be made available soon. Westmoreland man convicted for trying to mail ganja. A Westmoreland man who tried to ship nearly 2 dozen packages with ganja to Canada through the post office has been convicted on drug-related charges. Alton Anderson, 49, pleaded guilty to 22 counts of possession of ganja, 22 counts of dealing in ganja, and 22 counts of attempting to export ganja in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on October 3. He is scheduled to be sentenced on January 9 next year. Anderson could face additional charges arising from ongoing investigations into 8 other ganja seizures made by the police since January this year, sources said. The police say over a 2-year period, Anderson, who is from Revival District, attempted to use Jamaica's postal service to ship 22 packages with ganja worth 1 million Jamaican dollars to Canada. He was arrested in a police operation last month. The police used Anderson's conviction to warn members of the public against using the post office or other courier services to export drugs. Police probe suspected murder-suicide in St. James. The St. James police are probing what is suspected to be a murder-suicide in the parish on Friday night. Dead are 42-year-old Elia Russell of Paradise Sites in St. James and a woman whose identity remains unknown. According to the Corporate Communications Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, lawmen were alerted to a house in the Paradise Sites community about 7:30 Friday evening after residents reportedly heard a woman crying for help. On their arrival, Russell was seen lying on his veranda with a stab wound to his upper body, while the woman was seen lying on her back. It has not yet been ascertained if she was also stabbed. They were both taken to the nearby Cornwall Regional Hospital, where they were pronounced dead. Pleasant Hill residents and MP lament eviction notices. Several residents of Pleasant Hill in a section of Loidas Vale in St. Catherine Northwestern are appealing for clarity and mercy as they dread losing houses and other belongings that they have on properties belonging to the state. The rural community has been blanketed by uncertainty since Thursday evening when residents were served with notices ordering them to vacate the property by December 6. If you fail to cease occupation, vacate, and deliver possession of the said property, as required under the terms of this notice, you'll be forcibly evicted, the notice threatened. Pleasant Hill residents said letters were hand-delivered to about 100 of them on the same day that the government began demolition of illegally constructed structures in Clifton, St. Catherine. The notice explained, the reason for requiring you to cease occupation, vacate and deliver possession of, and remove any fencing and or temporary structures erected on the said property is that you're in illegal possession of property which is owned by the Commissioner of Lands. The notice bears the signature of a lawyer purportedly representing the Commissioner of Lands and is dated Thursday, October 6. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Northwestern, Hugh Graham, lamented not being informed ahead of the notices being served. I haven't been invited to a meeting with the government to see what is happening, what their plans are, if they have engaged the residents, and what alternative arrangements are in place, etc., etc., he said. I don't understand how the government believes they can treat people like that as if it is okay. It is not okay. At least have town hall meetings and say whatever it is that you have to say and take the people along with you. We can't be so dictatorial. Some residents said they have been having amicable discussions with the NLA regarding becoming legitimate owners of the property. They said the next person that will be coming will be a surveyor and they're not going to push the people of the land, Andrew Duane claimed on Friday, adding that she and her family have been living in the community for more than 3 decades. According to her, the notices caught residents totally off guard. We expected to hear that the land is ready to survey so that people can get titles, only to see them come with notice showing that we are to vacate the land, she said. Duane, like other residents, said that they have invested heavily in the properties over the years. A number of them inherited parts of the property from their foreparents, while others brought from people who once cultivated sugarcane on it to be sold to the nearby Rother Park Sugar Estate. A few years ago, when the price of sugarcane decreased drastically, a number of small farmers sold the parcels of land they occupied. Several people made purchases at relatively low cost and started to build houses. Before the recent influx of people, a few residents lived on the land unhindered. Frederick Moten, who said he has been living there for 50 years, is apprehensive about the very thought of leaving. This can't be a right thing, because everybody want to live somewhere to make yourself comfortable. Which part we going to move, go with women and children and everything, he asked. Jerome Young, 34, who was born and raised in the community, commented, this caught everybody by surprise. SCJ refutes claim Bernard Lodge land seller acted on its behalf. SCJ Holdings Limited is refuting claims a man who illegally collected money for land in the Bernard Lodge area of St. Catherine acted on behalf of the entity. On Thursday, the government demolished structures it said were illegally constructed on the lands near Clifton. However, some of the residents said they paid huge sums to a man for the purchase of the lots. Claims have since been made on social media that the man was working on behalf of SCJ Holdings, was known to SCJ officials, and turned over the monies collected to the entity. But in a media release on Sunday, Managing Director of SCJ Holdings, Joseph Shakur, described the social media post as nonsense. SCJ does not effect the sale of lands in such a lax manner, he stated. He further stated that no individual is authorized to collect cash on behalf of the SCJ. Dr. Chan commends security forces following killing in Trelawney. The killing of 3 men during a clash with police and soldiers from the Operation Resilience 2 team during an illegal party in Hague Settlement, Trelawney, during the wee hours of Saturday morning has left residents shell-shocked. A member of the Jamaica Defence Force was shot and injured during the confrontation. According to Acting Commander of the Trelawney Police Division, Deputy Superintendent of Police Winston Milton, about 2 a.m., a joint police-military team which was in the area came under gunfire from individuals who were in attendance at the party while it was in full swing. The security personnel responded with gunfire, and when the exchange ended, 4 men, including a soldier, were shot. DSP Milton also disclosed that illegal guns were seized during the operation. He added that a number of residents were also taken into custody on reasonable suspicion, so as to assist a probe by members of the Criminal Investigation Branch. Members of the police and military team acting under Operation Resilience 2 were on patrol in the area when they were shot at by criminal gunmen at an illegal party. 4 persons were injured, 3 fatally. 1 member of the JDF received gunshot injury in the community, DSP Milton said. He, however, did not reveal the number of guns seized, noting that an investigation was in progress. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang described the incident as a reflection of the level of organized gangsterism that is out there that the police have to deal with. All were heavily armed. The 3 who were impacted died with their arms, Dr. Chang said. The police need to be commended. It took high-quality intelligence, good police work, to identify these kind of criminals that we have out there. In sports news, 3 stay perfect and into D-Cup second round. Former champions Clarendon College, William Knibb, and Cedric Titus High all extended their perfect win records and booked second round spots with wins in their Issa da Costa Cup first round return games on Saturday. Despite rain affecting several games, 5 more schools advanced on the day, with Happy Grove High and Teachville High from Zone O also making sure of their places. 11 schools have now booked second round spots as they joined Manning School, St. Elizabeth Technical High, Yorkassa High, Dintle Technical, McGrath High and Central High. At the Tollgate Community Centre in Clarendon, Marquise Reed, Christopher Hall and Kahim Dixon all scored for Clarendon College as they beat Lennon High 3-love and secured Zone H honours with 18 points from 6 straight wins, as Edwin Allen High stayed in second place on 11 points with a 5-love win over Thompson High. Jaheim Sankar scored 4 goals as William Knibb thumped Mushat High 9-love in their Zone C game and advanced with 15 points, the same as Cedric Titus, who beat Herbert Morrison Technical 2-1. A 2-2 draw between Happy Grove and Teachville High was enough to send both through from Zone O, both on 9 points, after Port Antonio High scored 8 goals in their 4-4 draw. From Technical won their 6th straight game in Zone B, 5-1 over Hopewell High, and inched within a point of qualifying for the second round. They were kept waiting after the game between Rusty's Eye and Green Island was called off due to heavy rains on a waterlogged field at the Colin Miller Sports Complex. Defending champions Garvey Masio beat Veer Technical 2-love in their Zone N top-of-the-table clash, their 5th straight victory with 2 penalties, Navon Mary in the first half and Orlando Lawrence in the second half. Garvey Masio leading on 16 points, 6 more than Veer Technical, while Fogar Road High beat Kempsey High 1-love to stay in contention for a second round spot. Zone A leaders Irwin High snap a 3 games winless run to beat Green Pond High 2-love and move to 18 points, while Cornwall College move into second place with a 4-love win over Anchovy High. St. Elizabeth Technical were 6-love winners over Sydney Pagan High, extending their perfect run to 8 games and are yet to concede a goal, while Monroe College ended a 2 games winless skid to edge Magate High 1-love and join BB Coke on 13 points. Petersfield High won for the first time in 3 games, beating Godfrey Stewart High 4-1, while Marcus Garvey won for the first time this season, edging Ocherius High 1-love. Saturday's results: Zone A, Anchovy 0, Cornwall College 4, Green Pond 0, Irwin High 2, Maldon versus St. James at Maldon not played. Zone B, Opal 1 from 5, Rossies versus Green Island at Colin Miller Sports Complex rained out. Zone C, Mushet 0, William Nib 9, Herbert Morrison 1, Cedric Titus 2. Zone D, Godfrey Stewart 1, Petersfield 4. Zone E, Monroe College 1, Magotti 0, Stet 6, Sydney Pagan 0. Zone G, Alphonsus Davis 1, Christiana 2, Homewood 0, Mile Gully 0. Zone H, Lennon 0, Clarendon College 3, Edwin Allen 5, Thompson Town 0. Zone I, Ocherius 0, Marcus Garvey 1. Zone G, Wycliffe Martin 2, St. Mary High 3, Anoto Bay 3, Taki 3, St. Mary Technical 4, Horace Clark 2. Zone N, Fogar Road High 1, Kemsill 0, Garvey Massey 2, Bear Technical 0. Zone O, Fair Prospect 4, Port Antonio 4, Happy Grove 2, Titchfield 2. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.